With nucular, take it away.
Okay, so why don't we have everyone on the couch introduce themselves, starting with Infinite Mystery.
I'm Infinite Mystery.
Yeah.
I'm Helix.
I'm Garita.
And this is Squidlit. It is a 2018 PC game. It's designed to look like a Game Boy game, as you can see. So it's got 160 by 144, 30 FPS, monochrome, all that. And it's a pretty basic platformer with all the mechanics you would expect from a basic platformer, moving from side to side, jumping. And you're a Squidlit, that's your species. Your name is Plip. And since you're a Squidlit, you can fire these blots of ink downward. And this is your attack. It kills any non-boss enemy that it hits. And it also basically pushes you up a little bit, so you can repeatedly do it to hover a bit. Since there's a cooldown for it, you can't basically just keep mashing it to fly upward unless you use this pause buffering technique. And that's where the category comes in. So this, as you can see, is an all bosses run. There are 4 chapters in the game. Each chapter ends in a boss. And the only difference between all bosses and any percent is in any percent, you can use this pause buffering technique to do what's called library skip. This skips the entire library. Let's see if I can get pretty high. No, I'm not. Okay, yeah, sure. Give me a countdown.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is talk to Chef Boyardee over here. And he's going to give us some muffins. And muffins are a Squidlit's favorite food. So these muffins will be our health bar for the game. Each time you get hit by an enemy, it does half a muffin of damage, with one very important exception, and we'll get to that. So first we can read off like 2 donations.
I could do that. We have $100 from Sarah Face, who just says heart. And we have $100 from Fingers, who says first time donating to GDQ. Love what you guys do.
Okay, so I guess we should talk about damage boosting now. So when you get hit by an enemy, it pushes you backward a little, but you can basically negate this effect by turning in the opposite direction of where you want to go right as you hit the enemy, and then continuing to move in the direction that you want to go right after the damage boost ends. The damage boost animation lasts about 1/3 of a second, so that's how long you want to let go of the control stick for. We are about to come upon our first damage boost, and hopefully while we're damage boosting, we can get that hit on it. And that kills it, which means it won't spawn another lightning rod ahead of us, which means we won't have to do an extra damage boost, and we got that damage boost pretty well too. And we are about to enter the farm, which is the first of 2 areas in the run where we're going to have to kill all of the enemies in the area to progress. Sometimes that can be annoying, but we got that pretty easily. And while we're in the farm, it's very important to keep an eye on our health, because we need to go into this first boss fight, which comes right after the farm, with full health, and you'll see why. So we can read off a few donations right now.
Sure. We have $250 from Saka Sumoko, who says, love seeing all the talent and hard work on display. Here's to 10 years more. And $25 from Great Comet, donating from behind the scenes. It's awesome to see this donation tracker climb. Let's keep it going.
Okay, so I unfortunately really messed up there. We don't really have any backups for that, except just running in and intentionally dying in this fight to regenerate our health quickly. But that's okay, it doesn't lose too much time. And the reason that being at full health there was so important was because we can just go right up as close as possible. We get to this boss, and that makes us...
You get hit enough times to go down to half a heart there, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And right here, what you're going to see me do a lot is jumping and inking to get around corners quickly. I got too late there. And inking also increases your gravity, which makes you fall faster. You also fall fast because you've already got some momentum from jumping. And yeah, so we can write off a few more donations.
Certainly. We have $100 from Belfic, who says, good luck, Nuclear. I'm happy to see Squidlit at a GDQ and proud of our little community. Squish.
Thanks, Belfic.
$50 from Custard. Keep it up, you wonderful people. And $100 from Mage of Dancing Dragons. No comment, but thank you so much for your generosity.
So we're going to be heading into the second boss fight soon. It's super straightforward. It's like this golem thing, and it keeps walking toward you. After it takes 8 steps, it goes into a cooldown state where you can ink into it. It does that 3 times, and once you ink into it 3 times, it's dead, and you can move on.
It's by far the worst boss of the game.
Yeah,
the
it's
only one
really
that doesn't
slow,
have a quick
and
heal.
it's just really boring. Oh yeah, another thing you can do is just press the down key to do an ooh animation.
It's cute. You want to enter the right of the screen right now?
Yeah, I want it to end up on the right of the screen. And we enter the door while we're above the door, because that's how doors work.
Don't you guys just do that every day?
Yeah. This is the point where the any percent and all bosses route diverge. You would do this pause buffering technique to go right over the library. Here, we're going to do a jump right here to trigger an enemy spawn. That'll help us later. And this is the other of the 2 areas in the game where you have to kill every enemy to progress. Not actually every enemy, but just all these books that are haunted and flying. We killed 1 of them. We actually killed 2 of them so far. And everything spawns once it kind of gets within a certain distance of you. So sometimes we're going to, sometimes we're going to do jumps that seem unusual just because they make enemies spawn or not spawn. Wow.
The movement in the library is kind of insane. It's a lot harder than it looks. This game was not made for vertical platforming.
Yeah, we hovered there partly to avoid this book from spawning and partly to get us through that little gap really quickly. Okay, wow. Got that.
You just give some dialogue there.
Yeah.
The dialogue looks kind of funny, especially if he jumps while skipping it.
Okay, I missed that jump. So we should start explaining the third boss fight. So you saw all those little flying haunted books. The third boss is a giant haunted flying book, and it has 4 attacks, each represented by one of its pages. And each time it's about to attack, it basically lies itself on the floor, and a sprite starts to come out of it that represents its attack. And you can, based on that sprite, jump into it and ink on that attack to disable it. And once you ink on an attack 4 times while you're in it, then that attack is permanently disabled and you fly out of the book. So there's basically 4 stages, 1 for each attack. And okay, so we jumped in a bit early and didn't see that attack, but it's usually one of the ones on the right side, and when it isn't, like it's bomb, then it doesn't actually waste any time. So we're just going to do this again, and we did jump in late that time, and we know it was bomb because bomb is one of the short ones, and it didn't show one because we jumped in it too. We jumped in it pretty late, and we would have seen it if it was something else. Okay, I actually missed that. I should have been. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't paying enough attention there. Anyway, you want to hit that 3 times.
This is where you will appear if you do the skip in the middle town before this.
So now we should start talking about the final boss fight. We very recently... Oh, okay, I didn't get that dialogue quickly. We very recently developed a much more consistent setup for a very hard trick, or at least it used to be very hard, that I actually discovered by accident when I first got the world record in this game. And it saves a lot of time over previous strats, and it has never before been presented live, so...
The new strat was discovered yesterday.
Yeah, 2 days ago, but yeah. Here we're gonna take some damage so that we basically get into the final boss fight with half a muffin or a full muffin. That'll allow us to die pretty quickly, which will allow us to regenerate our full health. That's really important for this boss fight. Oh, there was an orb there. I don't know if you noticed. Okay, I failed it, but I'm just going to try it again just to show everyone.
He's going to start out by... He has to do a damage boost first, but it can't
Okay,
be too good of a
failed
damage
it again.
boost. Ooh.
It's a pretty neat trick
Yeah, it can't be too good of a damage boost. It has to be just an okay damage
that
boost.
it is.
I did not quite get that.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm just going to see if I can get it completely. Okay, it was too late there, so I've got a pause buffer.
Nice.
Wow, okay, I am not getting this.
Grab the laser.
I'm just going to, do this.
That's the usual
Away.
strat.
Okay, unfortunately, we didn't get to show off the new version in its entirety, but hopefully we gave you sort of an idea of what it looks like. And as is tradition, when Squidlit gets run in a marathon, we always decide to hug Squid Squad instead of yelling at her. It's 1 second slower, but oh, that's time, by the way. Which is to save the animals, not the frames. And finally, there's this little mini game at the end while the credits roll. Shout out to the whole community. Shout out to Garita for first introducing me to this game. Shout out to Nora for making a beginner's guide that was hugely helpful in getting me and a lot of other people into the game. And shout out to the devs who are getting married tomorrow. So that's going to be big. And so if you want to get this game, it's $2 on Steam, or if you want, you can wait 4 days until it gets ported to the Switch. So, and it'll be on the Switch store, so you can get it there.
Yep. Released in 2018, obviously made to look like a Game Boy game. It's a very charming game. There's also a Squidlit plushie, I believe, as a prize.
Yeah. It's only $10, so get for it. It's amazing. I did it myself. I spent like 4 days making it, so please go for it. It's amazing.
Let's hear it again for Nucular. This is Awesome Games Done Quick 2020. And coming up next, we've got Action Hank with a Bad Black Shark. That's not a typo, that's what it's called, Action Hank. And if you want to see it, you better stick around. Meanwhile, your generosity never sleeps. Let's go back to some donations. We've got $50 from GTNO, longtime watcher, first-time donator. Glad I can finally donate to your cause. Best of luck to all the runners. We have $25 from Rasputin. GDQ is the time I live for. The rest of the year is just waiting for it. Donating for VVVVVV 100% glitchless, going to hear more of that surgically mind-blowing soundtrack. That is a really good soundtrack. And speaking of that 100% glitchless incentive, it's currently sitting at a little bit over $2,000 left to get that one. And that would be, it's such a cool run. Y'all really want to see it, I promise. So let's get that one met. We have $20 from Apos, who says, Floppy Hat Chan in the front row is the real MVP of this event. Thanks for the 4 a.m. entertainment. Putting this donation toward V6 Super Gravitron. Speaking of that Super Gravitron incentive, it is currently sitting at 580 out of 10,000. So that one's got a little bit longer to go, but Super Gravitron is quite a treat to watch someone who's really good at it. And, oh yeah, we got somebody really good at it. All right, we're just going to toss it off to a quick ad here, friends. So don't worry, we'll be here when you get back. And we're back. We hope you missed us because we certainly missed you. But you're not here to hear me talk. You're here to hear some donations, and on that, I can certainly deliver. We have $25 from Pear.Lion, a little donation before I head to bed. It's unfortunate that I need sleep to survive, or I'd be watching AGDQ all week straight through. A big thank you to the behind-the-scenes crew that keep this event running. We have $10 from Arthisios. You can honk if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Because if your friends don't honk, and if they don't honk, then they're no friends of mine. We have $25 from November Papa. This is year 3 of my daughter, now 7, watching AGDQ, and we love it. Thanks very much for supporting a great cause. And honk! You've got $25 from John78. After watching AGDQ for years, what better time to donate than on the 10-year anniversary? And what better way to honor our dog Loki, who we unfortunately lost to cancer? Here's to our amazing dog who we lost way too soon, and here's to many more years of speedrunning and charity. And we are very sorry for your loss, John78, but thank you so much for your generosity. All right, $75 from Satch127. Big love to all you runners, announcers, commentators, behind-the-scenes people, just everyone who makes this work. And I've got some good news. That's right, it is time for Action Hank with Bad